Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Tricky Jim. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully, you guys are ready for an exhilarating night of Pokemon TCG action, because that's what we've got coming right at you. Right here, right now. Pokemon cards. That's right. It's what we do here. And I'm just really excited to be back doing our league tournaments. I was sick for a week, and I was at New Orleans for a week, so like I got to play in the Rocket. I got to play in the Gym Leader Challenge League where I won with the Rocket deck, the Hitmon combo deck, and then like between going to New Orleans for NAIC and then getting sick the week after, it's been a few weeks. So really excited to be just back on that grind. And producing our local tournaments. That's what it's all about, folks, right here. Love and passion for the Pokemon TCG. People showing up to full group games on a Thursday night to play some Pokemon cards. We got some familiar faces from Standard League last night. We did get to see Fran on stream. We got to see Dylan on stream last night as well. We got to see Alex Carpenter on stream yesterday. And we've got a visitor here from the Cardboard Warriors Discord. You may remember Spence, who has finished in the top 8, top 4 of both of our Gym Leader Challenge Cash events, the Journey Together and the Destined Rivals Gym Leader Challenge event. Spence is best known for piloting his Dragon deck. We see him there with the Detroit Lions cap on. We also saw Austin Charles here. Yeah, so a lot of players from Standard out here for our Gym Leader Challenge event at Full Grip Games. So I'm excited to get into some GLC action tonight and see what players are bringing to the table. Thank you so much, Kyle, for that Prime sub in the 33 months. Appreciate you, Kyle. Thank you so much for the continued supports. We've got a great match here. Round 1, Chase versus Fran. And I know that Chase had actually just won his first Gym Leader Challenge badge with his Psychic deck recently. And I know last week while I was... It's a shame. Last week I was sick, and you know who went ahead and won? Craig. Craig won with Special Whales last week, and we missed it because I had a cold, which I'm still kind of like phlegmy and gross, to be honest, but I'm not like ill. So, but yeah, Craig won with Special Whales last week, so... That an unfortunate tournament to miss. Craig went 5-0 at a GLC League nights with the special waves Whale Lord. So congratulations to Craig on that one. And sorry we had to miss your dub on stream. But we're here tonight, round 1. We'll see how many players we've got in the house. As soon as Natalie texts me, lets me know. And we got Chase and Fran, both players who are quite familiar with Standard formats. Chase has recently been getting more and more into Gym Leader Challenge, obviously winning his first badge, so he's got an invite to the Gym Leader Challenge year-end invitational, which we are going to be hosting in August. Anybody who has won a GLC League night throughout the year will have an opportunity to compete. And it looks like Chase is playing the fighting deck. All right. So Chase did text me the other day that he thought the Hitmon combo deck was broken. So it looks like that might be the deck that Chase is choosing to pilot here tonight, which would be pretty hype. That would be most hype indeed. Thank you so much, Jack, for the sub and the 54 months. Appreciate you, Jack. And then, ooh, we do have fighting versus metal. This should be a great match, folks. Round 1 is underway here at the Full Grip Games Gym Leader Challenge League. Fran has been working on her metal deck last few weeks. Has had some pretty good results with it, but has yet to capture the badge, the league night win that she so wants. Now, Fran is one of your badge leaders, I would say. She does have quite a few league nights won here at Full Grip Games so far this year in Gym Leader Challenge format. So always a pleasure to watch the decks that she cooks up for GLC league nights. And one of the cards that's been getting a lot of traction in these metal decks is this Iron Crown. Iron Crown has got the deleting slash attack for a metal and a colorless energy. It says if your opponent has 3 or more bench Pokemon, this attack does 80 more damage. So a potential 120 damage for 2 energy, but your opponent has to play into it. And I highly doubt that Chase is going to be spreading his bench out super wide to allow that Iron Crown to hit for 120 damage. We do see Chase going straight for Tyrogue, which is really interesting. I do love this Tyrogue. It's such a cool card in the deck. Tyrogue has got the Bratty Kick ability, which allows you to flip a coin, and if heads, you place 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon, but it does end your turn. Tyrogue does have free retreat, though, and it's just a really good pivot for the deck. And if you don't have a usable attack turn 1, it's a great Pokemon to get out and try to get some damage on board. It looks like Chase does have a Cynthia in hand, so it can play that. And is going to do so. To shuffle, draw 6. Does get a fighting energy on his active Ogie as well. And Ogie it's just one of those big, bad, basic Pokemon in Gym Leader Challenge format. It's got 130 hit points and the Good Punch attack, which does 70 damage for 2 fighting energy. But that is not the end of the story, folks, because it has the Adrena Power ability, which says if this Pokemon has any darkness energy attached, it gets plus 100 hit points, and it does plus 100 damage. So pretty ridiculous. All you got to do is find one of those rainbow energies in the deck, unit energy, blend energy, aurora energy, anything like that, rainbow energy, an energy that satisfies both fighting and darkness energy at the same time. Any of those rainbow energies will do it. And then you're using Good Punch for 170 damage, and you have 230 hit points on a basic. So very strong. And unfortunately, Tyrogue's Bratty Kick is a Tails. So it's going to pass back over to Fran. Huge thank you to The Last Porg for the Prime sub and the 14 months over on Twitch, and Lambo Genie for that sub and the 41 months. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support, y'all. And I'm glad you guys are enjoying the stream tonight so far. Fran has got an excellent response. Ball Guy starts setting up her deck. Ball Guy is just that guy, really. In Gym Leader Challenge format, such a funny card. A card that was just a never played card in standard formats has made such an impact in Gym Leader Challenge because of its flexibility. It's a supporter card that allows you to go search your deck for up to 3 cards that have the word ball in their name. So you can get Nest Ball, Quick Ball, Timer Ball, Ultra Ball, any of the balls. And in Gym Leader Challenge format, there are quite a few balls that are viable for play, because you get to play with all cards except for cards with a rule box from Black and White through the most recent set. And there have been a lot of balls printed over the years, so Ball Guy can allow you to just go get the exact balls that you want in order to set up. If it's early on in the game, like it is right now for Fran, you see Fran is searching out balls that help her to get basic Pokemon into play. We've got Quick Ball, Level Ball, and Nest Ball. But then if it's later on in the game, you need to get evolutions, then Ball Guy can also fulfill that role and search out evolution searching cards like Ultra Ball, Timer Ball, Heavy Ball, Dive Ball, and cards like that. So just a very versatile card. The fighting deck is also playing Ball Guy with a Team Magma's Great Ball, so that Ball Guy can even search out a fighting energy in a pinch if you need it to. So it's been cool to see Ball Guy occupy such a space in Gym Leader Challenge formats. Now, for this Iron Crown's not going to be swinging for a significant amount of damage right now. And it looks like Fran understands that. So she is going to flee and retreat to Jirachi with the Stellar Wish ability. And she gets to look at the top 5 cards of her deck and put a trainer card she finds there into her hand. We'll see which one she decides to go with. It's the Mount Coronet. So she's going to grab that. And she's done a good job setting up her bench. She's got Bronzor and Varoom on the bench. Bronzor can evolve into Bronzong. Bronzong's got the Metal Lynx ability, can accelerate metal energy into play. Varoom is great, can evolve into Revavroom, and then help Fran to draw cards. See if this Jirachi wakes up, and it does. And the ball is back over to Chase's court. And Chase has got the perfect supporter for this moment. Colress's Tenacity means that we are going to see a fully powered Ogie Dogie this turn. Colress's Tenacity is just fantastic for this moment. It's a supporter card that gets you an energy and a stadium card out of the deck and puts them into your hand. Unfortunately for Chase, he did get his Brooklet Hill countered, so he can't actually use Brooklet Hill to go search out another basic Pokemon. I'm sure he might want to do that. And he's already got Tropical Beach in hand, so, Silent Lab is not a card he's going to want to play right now because Silent Lab would turn off his own Adrena Power ability, so we'll see what stadium he goes for. I guess Training Court's kind of the least bad one. You could also get no stadium with the anticipation of trying to maybe use Cynthia's Ambition this next turn, which is, I think, the supporter that he's got in his hand for next turn. We've got 14 players in the house tonight for Gym Leader Challenge League, so going to be a 4-rounder. And I also have a meta breakdown from Natalie, so I will be able to share that between rounds. Looks like Aurora Energy, discard Tropical Beach. Chase-Ann, not going to need that where I'm going, as I plan on just swinging with Ogie Dogie turn after turn and just seeing if you can respond to it. That is a lot of pressure. Turn 2, 170 damage in Gym Leader Challenge format with a 230 hit point Pokemon. Ogie Dogie is an absolute monster. Very tough to deal with. Let's see what Fran has got. Ultra Ball for Revavroom, so she can start drawing cards. Revavroom is a huge boost for Metal-type decks, giving some much-needed draw power with the Rumbling Engine ability. And it seems like Metal kind of is starting to get all the pieces it really needs, right? It's Revavroom from Paldean Fates. 140 hit points, stage 1 Pokemon. You have to discard an energy from your hand, and then you get to fill your hand to 6 cards. And we see Raihan's actually in Fran's hand, so she could have a big turn. It's actually possible for Fran to respond to this Okidogi with Zamazenta if she's able to get Bronzong with the Raihan. So really, all she has to do is Raihan for Bronzong, use Bronzong's Metal Links, and she does need 2 Metal Energy in the discard pile to do that. So I actually don't know if she has it. If she's got 2 Metal Energy in the discard pile, she can totally do it. We'll see. Because she'd have to go get Bronzong, right? And she does not have the second Metal Energy in the discard pile. I got a question on YouTube. Where do you find Gym Leader Challenge decks? There's a bunch of great resources online. You could always go to gymleaderchallenge.com. It's got some great getting started guides for each type. Some nice introductory guides to help you learn about each type of deck in Gym Leader Challenge format. Each type. And then there's also Cardboard Warriors. There's a nice website online. It's got a lot of tournament reports, deck profiles, and things like that. There's a big online Gym Leader Challenge community on Cardboard Warriors, so I would also highly recommend that website. And also the Tricky Gym Discord. If you have any questions about Gym Leader Challenge, how to get started, Gym Leader Challenge events are hosted as side events at every major Pokemon tournament, regional, national, world, all that. So it's never been a better time to build your first Gym Leader Challenge deck, so you can participate in those side events. Also, Gym Leader Challenge leagues all over the world as well. My wife Natalie just updated the Gym Leader Challenge event locator on gymleaderchallenge.com. So, you know, not every Gym Leader Challenge league is on the event locator, but some are. Quite a few. And it looks like Fran, unfortunately, just has to settle for a poke on this Okidogi with the active Iron Crown. Like I said, did not have that second Metal Energy in the discard pile in order to respond with the Zamazenta this last turn. So that is disappointing for the Fran clan. We'll see what Chase is able to do. He's going to continue putting on a ton of pressure with this Okidogi. He's got, looks like Arvin as supporter for turn. And Magma's Great Ball. Going to play Hisuian Heavy Ball. And we'll see if there's a piece in there that he wants. He's got both Hitmonchan and Rocket's Tyranitar in the prizes. So those are some tough ones. But the Hitmonchan is an easy grab off of the Hisuian Heavy Ball, so that situation is mitigated now. Rocket's Tyranitar not having access to that is a little bit of a bummer, but it is fine. You can certainly operate without it. And with the Hitmonchan at the ready, Chase does have the option to start comboing eventually. However, this metal deck plays a lot of tank and heal style cards, which could make it very difficult for Chase to accrue damage on Fran's side of the board. So, I'm sure Chase is very aware of that. The fact that things could get sketchy out here once this Okie Dokie goes down. The Okie Dokie is certainly putting in work right now. Going to give Chase a nice 2-prize lead. But this game is far from over, as Fran has got Versus Seeker in hand, which means she will be able to Raihan again and get an additional energy onto the Zamazenta. So she can use the Mount Coronet to recover 2 metal energy from the discard pile so that she can use Rumbling Engine. She also knows she's going to attach one to the active Zamazenta. She's got Versus Seeker for Raihan. It's a little bit of a weird situation. She's not going to be able to draw a lot of cards off of the Rumbling Engine quite yet. So it looks like she's actually going to just use the Raihan first, Versus Seeker for Raihan, recover it. And I like that. That's fine. You can actually use a few more cards in your hand before you decide to draw up with the Rumbling Engine. Well, no. Here comes Rumbling Engine now. So, Rumbling Engine for 2. And Fran does find Bronzong. Bronzong's got the Metal Link's ability, like I said, charges a metal energy from the discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So Fran is moving now, right? Raihan to get that additional energy to the active Zamazenta. Super key. And now Fran is going to search her deck for whatever card she wants to put into her hand. And then she's got an extra energy attachment coming thanks to Metal Links. So she can get an extra metal energy onto the Heatran, and Heatran's going to be one step closer to attacking as well. Yo, huge thank you, Weeder, for the Prime sub and the 24 months, 2 years at the gym. Thank you so much for the support, Weeder. I hope you are doing well. So Fran was able to Raihan, get an additional card to hand. And this Okie Dokie is roasted. All 230 hit points depleted. And Chase, of course, plays Hisuian Heavy Ball, gets the Hitmonchan out of the deck, and then, of course, first prize taken after Hisuian Heavy Ball. It's Hisuian Heavy Ball. Happens every time, folks. Every time. I just put this card in there, and then you draw it off the prizes. So this is where the game's going to start to get interesting, because Chase did have a very strong lead with the Okie Dokie, but now it's going to be pretty easy for Fran to glance off these hits from the Hitmon bros, because as we can see, Hitmonchan's hit and run attack, it only does 30 damage. And Zamazenta has the Metal Shield ability, which makes it so that it takes 30 less damage from attacks. So, yeah, that's pretty tough, right? Hitmonchan is literally going to be doing nothing. And the concept of the Hitmon bros is that you want to chain them, right? You want to use Hitmonchan's hit and run and then follow it up with Hitmonlee's special combo, do 90 damage to a bench Pokemon, and then finish him off with the Hitmontop finishing combo, 60 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. And that attack for 1 energy, I mean, is just absolutely insane. So it's like no wonder it's no wonder it's worth going through all the shenanigans to launch that attack, because 60 damage to everything is quite powerful. Now, it looks like Chase is actually going to play Escape Rope here. I really like this play from Chase. With the escape rope, you get to push that problematic Zamazenta to the bench and actually get a lot more damage into play with hit and run, because Chase just slapped a muscle band on the Hitmonchan, also was able to get a fighting energy to the Okidogi, which I really like, and then is really whittling his hand down. As you can see, last supporter in his hand is that Cynthia's Ambition, and I'm going to sing this card's praises. The Cynthia's Ambition is so good in the Hitmon combo deck, being able to just fill your hand to 8. And we've seen Chase has been sitting on the Cynthia's Ambition for a bunch of turns now, kind of just waiting until his hand gets all the way down low, right? And then this next turn is going to be the perfect turn to play it. If Fran is able to get the knockout, then Chase will be able to use Cynthia's Ambition to fill his hand all the way up to 8 cards. If Fran doesn't get the knockout, Cynthia's Ambition still is a fill to 5 if Chase wants to play it. Chase has also got the Training Court in play, but not for long. Wow, Chase is getting punished for overbenching, unfortunately, with the Parallel City. And that Training Court is very valuable as it's access to extra energy from the discard pile. And I'm sure Chase would have liked that to guarantee get the attack with Hitmonlee this next turn. So big stadium bump there from Fran. Is very disruptive. Parallel City is one of the strongest stadium cards ever printed. It's just nuts. I mean, really, if you didn't play through Parallel City and its dominance, it's hard to express the impact that this card had on standard format. Why are you so small, Parallel City? Dang, that's crazy. It's hard to express the impact this card had. The blue side makes it so that you can only have 3 bench Pokemon in play. The red side makes it so that fire, grass, and water Pokemon do 20 less damage with their attacks. Thank you, Baja Monster, for the sub in the 31 months. Appreciate you, Baja Monster. Looks like Fran is kind of spinning her wheels here, as she just has to use Lysander to try and drag Hitmonlee up into the active spot. But it's a weird target, Hitmonlee, because, I mean, I guess, you know, all Chase needs is an energy, and he'll be able to use Hitmonlee's attack. So I don't really feel like there's a good target on Chase's bench to use Lysander, but I think Fran felt like she had to draw more cards. I think personally I would have liked to see Fran use Crispin this turn. I did see a Crispin in her hand. And I would have really liked to see Fran just use Crispin to accelerate some energy to this Heatran in the active. Crispin could get the fire and the metal energy out of the deck. You attach them both to Heatran, and then Heatran can actually just use the guard press attack. So I would have preferred to see Fran go with that route this last turn. I also am really excited that I chose Heatran as the thumbnail for this for today's VOD, because honestly, I was just picking a Pokemon that I thought was extremely handsome. I would go Birdkeeper here if I'm Chase. Yep. It's just a guarantee. You can hit, at the very worst, you just hit and run again, right? Exactly. Yeah. So I agree with that play from Chase. Save the Cynthia's Ambition. The Cynthia's Ambition is extremely valuable, you know, and you just keep calm, hit and run again. That's all good. No sweat. It's another 50 damage in play, and for a deck like the Hitmon combo deck, that is just trying to pile up damage. You know, Chase is already up 1 prize. He's kind of doing all right. Having 100 damage on the Heatran doesn't feel bad at all. Now, Fran has got some options in her hand. She's got Tate and Liza and Crispin. But the reason why I really wanted to see Fran play Crispin last turn is because then she would just be swinging with Iron Hammer this turn, right? So I do think that that's a... Because there's the Crispin there. Now, if Fran has a second fire energy in the deck, then I guess it's like no harm, no foul. but I don't know if Fran's got 2 fire energy in the deck. So she's just going to go for N. And you see how Fran is kind of missing a beat here. This Heatran would be swinging for the knockout with Iron Hammer if Fran had just played Crispin last turn. So I don't really know what she was going for off the Rumbling Engine. I think Crispin was absolutely the correct line, because then you just keep your energy attachment tempo up and you keep your attacking pressure on. But here, it's looking like Fran may be sacrificing multiple turns with this rogue gust play from Chase. Or it's not even a gust, it was a rogue escape rope, right? Oh, but Fran does draw into an escape rope of her own. So that's big. And Chase has to decide what he wants to sack. He's going to sacrifice the Hitmonchan, and does actually have Guzma and Hala in hand. So I think what we're going to see Chase do is just play the Guzma and Hala to go get the energy for Ogie Dogie and go back in with Ogie Dogie. And I really don't hate that play. I think that's totally fine. And Fran's going to tie this ball game up. 4-4 prizes. Oh, and a Raihan. Raihan is really good here as well, because you can get an extra energy attachment into play without having to discard all these cards down. Chase also has rare candy, so if he can find the Rocket's Tyranitar that he knows is prized, 1 in 4 chance of getting it, right? I think you have to play the Raihan because you don't want to discard these other cards with Guzma and Hala. You just really don't. Especially not that rare candy. You know you have like a 1 in 4 chance of just finding the, you have like a 1 in 4 chance of finding it. And you could get an extra energy into play. Yeah, I agree with this line. Just get the energy onto the Hitmonlee. This is fine. Go search your deck for some sort of rainbow providing energy. And then you have a 1 in 4 chance of ripping the Tyranitar off the prizes, right? So, like, there's nothing on Fran's board that can respond to the Ogie Dogie right now. I think this is like a solid play from Chase. Yeah, I definitely, especially since the big air balloon is high value. If Chase rips the Tyranitar here, and he does! He rips the Tyranitar, so he's got Rare Candy Tyranitar in hand, and that's exactly why you don't use the Guzma and Hala there, because you know that Tyranitar's in the prizes. You have a decent shot of hitting it. And now, Chase has got Rare Candy, Tyranitar, and Big Air Balloon all in hand, ready to go. And the hand is not getting disrupted as Fran goes for Arvin as the supporter for turn. Heatran is here, but Heatran is getting out big boyed by the biggest boy himself, Ogie Dogie. Heatran's Iron Hammer attack, 160 damage, really solid, but Ogie Dogie has 230 hit points right now with the Adrenopower ability. 220 because of the 10 damage placed from the Rainbow Energy. I do think, looking back at my list, I had wanted the Rainbow Energy to be like Prism Energy. There's really no reason for it to be a Rainbow Energy. So that should probably just be Prism. But you know what? It's all good. That 10 damage ain't going to matter. All right, Fran is starting to load up Zamazenta again, but she's already used Raihan and Versus Seeker. So we know that she can't get Zamazenta powered up in one turn, barring something like a counter energy. And Fran is going to swing with Heatran Iron Hammer, 160 damage. Ooh, and Chase draws into Guzma. It's got the Rare Candy Tyranitar. You just let that fly. Let's go, baby. Rare Candy Tyranitar with the balloon. And there's Guzma. And who are you taking out? The Bronzong? I see it, but I think I prefer Zamazenta or Revavroom. I think are the two options that I prefer there. You definitely don't want to hit the Heatran. Oh, just going to pass? I like this play. Yes! This is brilliant, Chase. Brilliant. Yes! Pass with the Tyranitar active. Go for the bratty kick. This is brilliant. Yes, brilliant. Brilliant, Chase. This is the way. This is how you play this deck, baby. Let's go. Let's go. And then Tyranitar passes the turn with the Sandstream ability, places 2 damage counters on all basic Pokemon, and Fran has got the Bronzong stuck in the active spot. But she does have Tate and Liza in hand. However, Rocket's Tyranitar cannot get one-hit KO'd by anything on Fran's board. So this was a really heads-up play from Chase, taking this tempo turn to get a little bit more spread damage onto Fran's board, taking advantage of the Sandstream, not activating Zamazenta's Retaliate attack. That was a huge play, because if Chase did play into Retaliate, then all of his Pokemon can get easily wasted, just like absolutely destroyed. But by not playing into that, now Zamazenta is locked at just 100 damage. And Heatran is locked at 160. Fran does have the Tate and Liza to move Heatran back into the active spot. We've got Big Boy coming back on through, but 160 damage does not take the knockout. And then with Sandstream, the Heatran gets knocked out between turns. And then 20 more damage to Zamazenta. This is a huge play. Absolutely huge. Masterfully done. And then Fran needs to decide which Pokemon to promote, and there's really no good choice, right? And this is incredible, because now Chase just top-decked Night Stretcher. He can go get the Hitmonchan. He's got the energy, or Rescue Stretcher, excuse me, and he could just start the combo and go back into Tyranitar, which is really sick. And then you're initiating the combo again. Hit and run, 30 damage, 20 more damage to the Zamazenta. Fran finds Pokegear. Uh-oh, how long? Okay. Parallel City. All right. Good finds there, Fran. We actually have to unwind a play. Yes, I forgot about the Parallel City too. Okay. That's fine. No harm, no foul. Pass with Tyranitar active. No Hitmonchan. Easy. I forgot about the parallel. Everything's good. Play ball. You guys are all good to go. You're good to go. Good fix. Thank you for catching it. I missed it. Ooh, Fran finds Guzma. It's exactly the supporter that she's going to want to move this Revavroom out of the active spot. And Chase is somewhat scrambling here. I mean, his hand is very bad. He's only got 2 prizes left to take. And pretty much all of Chase's Pokemon do get knocked out by Zamazenta just dealing 100 damage. So things could get very ugly here. Fran is using Rumbling Engine, discards Fire Energy, fills her hand to 6, has got Super Rod. Yeah, this game is going to get very tight. It really is just a matter of if Chase can deal with the Zamazenta. Tyranitar is going to place 2 more damage counters on it when it gets promoted this turn. And then you could go for a Tyrogue. Let's see. So that would put it up to 80, right? Oh my gosh. Like, Chase could actually just knock out the Zamazenta. If he flips heads on Tyrogue and passes with Tyranitar in the active, then the Zamazenta is dead, which is craziness, right? And he could do all of this while using Rescue Stretcher for Okie Dokie, attach the unit energy to it. And Fran is cooking, though. Got a Dialga on the bench. Metal Lynx. Metal Saucer. And Chase top deck Cynthia and Caitlyn. That is huge. So, going to have some more flexibility with his turn. I think you probably just use Cynthia and Caitlyn, discard the Guzma and Hala, go get like Raihan out of the discard pile. I do think I want to see Chase. Chase knows that Lysander, Guzma, and Versaseeker are all down. So I do want to see Chase recover the Okie Dokie, put the unit energy on it. And I think you use Cynthia and Caitlyn, get back like a Raihan or something. And you just use like pass with Rocket's Tyranitar in the active and try to go for Tyrogue again. That is, I think that's 100% the line here. You know that Fran has Versaseeker, Guzma, and Lysander all in the discard pile. So it's certainly a Cynthia and Kate. The Guzma and Hala, you really don't want to play that here. The value you're getting off of that's extremely low. Not to mention all the cards you have to get rid of. And time is ticking, so Chase does have to hustle so that this match doesn't end in a tie. All right, Cynthia and Caitlyn looks like it is being played. I like this. Discard another card from your hand. Put a supporter from the discard pile. It's Raihan. Yep, great choice there by Chase. Draw 3 cards. Ultra Ball, Gear, and Pupitar. And then I think you just go Rescue Stretcher, get that Okie Dokie back online. Yup. Big Dog is back with the unit energy on it, and then you just retreat into Tyranitar, try your Bratty Kick again, right? And with a 50 damage... Wait, who did Chase promote? He does hit heads! Oh, he does hit heads! But he's going to put it onto the Revavroom, not the active. Okay. I was going to say, if Chase promoted the Tyranitar off of... If Chase promoted the Tyranitar off of the kill, then with that heads flip, the Zamazenta is knocked out. So I almost would have liked to see that play more from Chase, because then you get 20 more damage on the Zamazenta. You force Fran to come up with her Dialga. And then all right, things are getting really close here, folks. I think that is time in the round. We should be getting very close to time in the round. If we're not there already. And Zamazenta going to tie this game up 2-2. And what does Chase have? Ball guy, tag call, field blower. I don't think there are any tag supporters that are going to help. Chase just discarded Guzma and Hala, unfortunately. I don't think he has an energy in hand. But he can go Devo. But I'm not sure that he takes a prize with Devolution, because Varoom, how many hit points does Varoom have? I don't know, folks. How many hit points does Varoom have? Is it 70 or 60? I do not know. All right, Ball Guy is proving to be pretty lackluster right here. Fran is playing the full art one. The art rare 160 hit points, and he's checking. Yeah, dude. He's checking. He's saying, oh, you decided to play swag. You decided to play swag over optimal. And here we go, TM Devo. I almost want to see Chase make that with Ogie Dogie, because I don't think that. Oh no, I don't want to see Chase make that with Ogie Dogie, because then the Zamazenta would be able to take a knockout. So no, this is a heads up play from Chase. Good job doing it with the Hitmonlee. Is there like a... Oh, turn one. All right, they are in turns now, and it looks like Fran is turn one. Or turn two. All right, it's turn two. Fran is turn two. All right, they've updated the dice. So Chase has one more turn, but needs to top deck an energy. Bronzong might have gotten kicked back to hand, but I think we're assuming that Fran just evolved it right back down. That's okay. Revavroom goes back to hand. I think Revavroom went back to hand and the Varoom died. Yeah. Now we got a Crispin being played. This is Fran's last turn, so Fran cannot win because she does not have enough time. She's going to go down to 1 prize remaining. The question is, does Chase top deck an energy? If Chase top decks an energy, he wins this game by taking a knockout with Ogie Dogie. It's all he needs to do. All right. 160 damage. What? No, that's a knockout. Yeah. Energy. It's Karina. Does it get him there? I think Night Stretcher might have already been played. Let's see. Oh, no. There's no item card in the deck that gets an energy. Strong was the next draw, which would have been the game-winning card. And the last energy is prized. Oh, and it's a tie. Oh, my goodness, folks. Down to the wire. 40 minutes plus 3 turns. Just narrowly not enough time for these two to finish their round. It was so close. Chase's next top deck was the game-winning strong energy. Fran was able to pull off some really tight plays there to keep this game close. Yeah, GG's to both players. If you attempt Bratty Kick, I guess you could attempt Bratty Kick, right? Could Chase have attempted Bratty Kick there? I think so, right? Did the Zamazenta have enough damage on it that it would have gotten knocked out? There was no... the Tyranitar had been knocked out already, so there was no Tyranitar. Yeah, I don't think that the Zamazenta was within KO range. However, worth noting, however, chatters... No, I guess not. I was gonna say if yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if there was a way for Chase to get just the little bit more damage he needed in play in order to win there. I do think the one turn, I think it was a difference maker, the turn that Chase decided to promote the Tyrogue instead of the Tyranitar. I think he had to promote the Tyranitar there and say, I'm getting 40 damage into play with this Tyranitar and it's gonna die, like, no matter what, right? Like the one turn he didn't promote the Tyranitar, he needed to promote the Tyranitar because it was the difference of 20 damage. I think that 20 damage actually makes a difference. So like really close, some really tight gameplay there from Chase though with the Tyranitar deck. It was cool to see. Definitely. God, I love that Hitmon deck. Just what a cool deck, man. All right. Let's get into it. Round number 2, folks. Let's go. Let's go. What do we got? What do we got? Hunter Horak versus Benjamin Peacock. Round number 2 at the Full Grip Games Gym Leader Challenge League Nights. Hunter, if you subject us to like a turn 5 loss zone again, I'm going to be mad. I'll put that out there. I'm okay. If you're playing Lost Zone, Hunter, that's fine, but the deck better perform. What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? I think it's colorless. All right, it's colorless. Colorless. I'm really excited that I cannot express to you how excited I am that the Pokemon that I chose for the thumbnail ended up getting featured round number 1 of the stream. I mean, like, folks, let me tell you what. Plans don't often work out that smoothly, okay? They really don't. Nothing ever works out that nicely. But, you know, Heatran was a major player in round number 1. A major participant. Some might even say the star of the show. All right, round number 2 is underway. We have got a battle of the Titan. Big basic Pokemon. Snorlax. In the red corner. Clocking in at 150 hit points. It's got the thumping snore attack, which does 180 damage for 3 colorless energy. And in the white corner, we've got Iron Boulder. Weighing in at 140 hit points. Its adjusted horn attack does 170 damage for just a psychic and a colorless energy. That's about as efficient as they come, folks. It's as efficient as attacks come in the Pokemon TCG Gym Leader Challenge format. 2 energy, 170 damage. You do have to match your opponent's hand size in order to launch that attack, though. And with Snorlax, you know, as Snorlax does, he's a sleepy boy. So thumping snore puts him right to sleep. Oh, you guys want to actually do weighing in at... All right, I actually want to see how much these guys weigh. Snorlax in the red corner. We've got Snorlax, the sleeping Pokemon with a height of 6 feet 11 inches and a weight of 1,014 pounds. I'm having too much fun with this. And in the white corner, Iron Boulder. Dude, he's only 4'11" and weighs 350 pounds. Dude, it's not even a competition, dude. It's not even a competition. Yes, Snorlax is gonna smite this thing. He's just gonna sit on him. And squish him. It's not even close, bro. I expected a Pokemon made of full metal like Iron Boulder to like I expected him to at least be able to compete with Snorlax's girth somewhat, but apparently not. 350 pounds, that's nothing. Snorlax weighs as much as a truck. 4'11", 350. Yeah, that's short stuff, bro. Snorlax, 6'11", 1,014 pounds. Okay, we've got an Arven coming from Hunter. Ben had a very solid setup. Iron Boulder, energy attached, Duskull, the Natu, and the Ralts all on the bench. I mean, that's just like, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's exactly what you want. On Hunter's side of the board, we've yet to see. Okay, this is Hunter's Porygon Z Special. Oh, baby. Let's go. Man, we're back to the good old days. I love it. Porygon Z. is the support Pokemon in this colorless deck. Crazy Code allows you to attach a special energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon as often as you like during your turn. That is quite the energy accelerating ability. And Ben has nothing! He's got a teammate. All right, he doesn't have nothing, but he did end himself into like a pretty crappy hand. But here comes the Iono. Hunter giving Ben Peacock the immediate bailout. Now, Ben wasn't totally dead in the water, did have a teammates in hand. So would have been able to play out of this situation with the teammates. It looks like Hunter's going to go capture energy to the Snorlax to continue setting up his board. He's also got a Porygon 2 on the bench. So probably want to see Hunter grab some sort of stability Pokemon like a Bidoof or, Minccino. And here's Bidoof, right? Bidoof is the guy because Crazy Code is a really good ability, but you need to be able to draw a lot of cards in order to attack with Crazy Code. Or not attack, but in order to activate Crazy Code effectively, right? You need to be able to draw a lot of cards. You need to be able to draw into a lot of energy. Because if you're only drawing into like one energy a turn, then Crazy Code is basically pointless. So Bibarel, great partner for the Crazy Code ability. And Hunter just has to pass 2 energy on his active Snorlax. Ben has got a much stronger looking hand now with Evolution Incense, which he can use to go search out a valuable support Pokemon like either Xatu or Kirlia. To me, I'm always getting Kirlia first. I guess unless I've got like a lot of psychic energy in hand, I'm going Kirlia first. Because Kirlia evolves into Gallade, and Gallade is just that boy. So, yeah, Kirlia off the Evolution Incense. Kirlia's got the Refinement ability, allows you to discard a card from your hand and draw 2 cards. So, Ben has got some board stability now, consistency, and also a Marnie in hand. So, can probably get very close to hand matching after the Marnie. It's weird. I like almost want to see Ben use Refinement before the Marnie, because like then all you have to do is find one playable off the Marnie, right? And then your matched hand sizes. But here it's like, will Ben actually get to use Refinement? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's a tough call, right? I guess the real goated play is to use Refinement and then still match hand sizes. You can Refinement away the psychic energy, I think. But then you're like looking at, you're going to have to burn a lot of resources. You see what I'm saying? He should have used the Refinement first. I'm standing by it. I'm standing firm, chat. He should have gone Refinement first, then Marnie, then you only need to find 1 playable card out of 5, and you've got the guaranteed hand match for Iron Boulder. Now you're like taking this big risk, right? And you got to burn all these cards. You could still get there. Like he did still get there, but it feels more wasteful to get there, right? You're going to have to, he's just going to pass. He's not even going to do it. I think he could have done it. I think you bench the Mimikyu, play the letter for nothing, and then nice turns. Like, you could have done it. But I don't think he's even taking the knockout because of the pod helmet. So really, there's no point. There's not no point. I mean, because then if you find Field Blower later on. No, actually, I would have really liked to see Ben play this entire turn differently now that I'm kind of looking at it. Because if Hunter just finds an energy, he's going to knock out the boulder. But how is Hunter's hand so bad? Oh, my God. Wait, Hunter's hand is horrible, too? All right. We're having a mid-off, ladies and gentlemen. We're having a mid-off. A good old-fashioned Good old-fashioned mid-off. You love to see it, honestly. And thank you so much, Necro, over on Twitch with the Prime sub in the 8 months. Appreciate it. I can't believe it. Off the Marnie of death. Got absolutely nothing there. Ben has got a really solid board, but is he going to be able to match hand sizes with Hunter's paltry 3 cards? Now you got me thinking. You could go and use Gallade to search out Judge. Town map. Flip over these. Yo, shout out to Ben Peacock playing a boomer card. Ben Peacock was featured on stream a few months ago, and he made fun of me for playing Skyla, and he called it a boomer card. And now look at him. I'm so proud, Ben. I'm so proud of you and your boomer card. We've got Gallade, Buddy Catch. An ability allows you to search your deck for a supporter card once during your turn. Put it into your hand. So, very solid. The Brock Scouting? And thank you, Trust Your Pilot, for that raid with the 62 viewers. Yo, welcome everybody from Trust Your Pilots. Gym Leader Challenge League night tonight here at Full Grip Games. We've had some great games so far, but right now we're experiencing a mid-off. Not really a mid-off. Both these players are like almost fully set up, and they both have like very powerful Pokemon staring each other down. So I don't think that Ben is going to be able to match hand sizes with Hunter, though. I mean, Hunter's only got 3 cards in hand, and Ben is just kind of drawing tons and tons of cards. It doesn't really look like he's worried too much about like actually attacking with the Iron Boulder. So Ben decides to use Brock's Scouting to go get Xatu. And this is just going to make his hand even bigger. There's no hope of attacking with Iron Boulder right here. Absolutely zero hope. The hand is too big. And you see what I'm saying? If Ben had just used the refinement before playing the Marnie, then he would have been able to match hand sizes, and he would have actually gotten the adjusted horn last turn for 140 damage into the Snorlax. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing about Gym Leader Challenge is like when you make like a slight misstep, it snowballs. It really does. It just snowballs, right? If you make like one small misjudgment or misplay at some point in the game, it can just snowball into just an absolute mess. So like now, because Ben decided to refinement after that Marnie, which I think was very greedy considering you've got Iron Boulder in the active, somebody who needs to match hand sizes in order to attack. Now we've got Ben with an Iron Boulder in the active who is not able to put any pressure onto Hunter, despite the fact that Hunter is literally dead drawing, but Ben has not been able to put any pressure on with the Iron Boulder because he just keeps drawing cards. And he needs to like be more cognizant of the fact that he needs to match hand sizes. You need to prioritize that. Or else you're just doing nothing. Like at a certain point, Hunter is like one draw supporter away from being completely set up. And it doesn't matter how much time you've given yourself to establish your board over here. The colorless board state is going to be absolutely ridiculous. If Hunter were to like draw into any good draw supporter, I don't know, man. I think it's crazy that people ain't playing Colress. Colress would be so good right here. Imagine Hunter top decks Colress, man. Broken card. Lee in the Twitch chat says it's been 14 minutes with Snorlax and Boulder in the active spot, and no attacks have been announced yet. I'm saying, dude, this is preposterous. All right, finally we're getting a Versus Seeker play. Right? Are we getting in a Marnie again? All right. God, please let Ben Peacock draw into a playable card off this Marnie. Colress is so lit. Cynthia, it's so crazy to me that Cynthia is about to get power crept out of so many decks. Anybody else tripping about that? Cynthia is about to get power crept. Cynthia! Shuffle Draw 6 is getting power crept, guys. In the Mega Evolution set. The new Lily card. All right. Ben does draw into Level Ball, so can actually use the Level Ball to go get Clops. It is looking like Ben is not playing Judge in his deck, and I think that's a big mistake if you're playing Iron Boulder. I think it's, especially if you're playing Gallade and Iron Boulder, put Judge in the deck. It's just another card that gives you a guaranteed hand match, and we saw how much of a hard time Ben had just hand matching for the last, like, I don't know, 3 turns, 4 turns. The new Lily is going to be absolutely insane. Shuffle Draw 8 at the beginning of the game. I can't believe it. Well, I think that Pokemon's justification for power creeping Shuffle Draw 6 is that another pass from Hunter. How is your deck performing like this? How do you have nothing still? How? This is insanity. Multiple Marnies and Iono. How have you not seen an energy yet? Like one singular energy. You've been sitting here with a 2-energy Snorlax for so long. My goodness. It's just absolutely unbelievable. All right, Ben's going to go get the Hex Maniac, turn off abilities, take a knockout on the Snorlax. Yeah, things seem pretty good for Ben here. But I think that the justification for power creeping Shuffle Draw 6 in the Mega Evolution set is I think they're letting research rotate out of standard, which I think is a welcome change. All right, I don't know why. I think this is... Oh, he wants to go for the Clops double knockout. Okay, I see. That's fine. Retreat. Yeah, I agree with this. But then you do also give Hunter like a card out of the prizes. Now, he's not even doing the Clops double knockout. All right, I disagree with this line. Because what's the point of playing Hex Maniac? You see why this play is not correct, because you play Hex Maniac to try and prevent Hunter from doing anything, but all he has to do is draw into an energy, and he can still knock out your Boulder with just an energy attachment to his Snorlax. So the Hex Maniac's not actually doing anything. In order to play, the correct play is to play Hex Maniac and also knock out the energy. Like, you have to do both or it's pointless, right? So as we could see, Ben tried to basically deny Hunter a turn of attacking by playing Hex Maniac, but the plan completely backfired because he decided to move the Snorlax out of the active spot with Escape Rope, and now Hunter can just use teammates to go get the energy for the Snorlax, and Hunter can keep pace and keep tempo in this game by just attaching to the Snorlax and knocking out the Iron Boulder. So you really don't want to do that. Just take out the energy. It's one of the most classic plays that you can make in Gym Leader Challenge format is wipe out the energy, play Hex Maniac in the same turn. It's like you're basically sweeping the legs out from underneath your opponent and then hitting them while they're down, right? So it's one of the best plays you can make, but Ben kind of like dodged that play mysteriously, and is going to get a little punished for it here. I really wish that Ben either save the Hex for later. Like, if you're going to make that play, then save the Hex Maniac for later, right? For a better turn to turn off abilities. Because here, basically, Hunter was effectively unaffected by the Hex Maniac. I mean, he basically accomplished exactly what he wanted to, which is taking a knockout. So who really cares, right? Thumping Snore for the KO, and Hunter's going to tie this up at 5-5 prizes. Let's see what Ben has got in response. Now, Ben does have the Clops on the bench. Just pulled the Dust Snore off of the prizes. So, does have that ability to take like a big double knockout turn. However, Ben does need to start thinking about another backup attacker. As you know, Gallade is nice, but now imagine if Ben played Hex this turn, right? I really am, you know, I'm hung up on the lack of Hex. I'm hung up on the lack of knocking out the energy with the Hex. That's the play you want to make. Otherwise, Hex is pretty much pointless. But if you're keeping your opponent from accelerating energy into play with Hex while also denying them the energy by knocking out their Pokemon with the energy, that's like the premier play. So Ben at this point is just essentially in a prize trade race where he's just got to keep tempo with the colorless deck. Dusknoir does take a knockout, but then knocks itself out, so it's going to expedite the pace of the game by going 1-for-1. And you probably just knock out the Bibarel. It's got to be the Bibarel. Like, it has to be. Or the Porygon too. All right. 4-4 prizes now. And Ben does get a Nest Ball off the prizes. It is really nice to play with your prize cards face up, thanks to Town Map. As, you know, when you use the Curse Blast ability on Dusknoir, you can just pick whatever card you want out of the prizes. And how fun is that? Nest Ball is going to get Mimikyu. Mimikyu's got the Copycat attack. And then Energy Retrieval, getting some extra energy to hand. U-turn board to the Xatu and Clairvoyant Sense. Can accelerate an energy into play and draw 2 cards. That's very good. Recycle energy to the Mimikyu as well. And honestly, now I'd say that Ben is very stabilized and looking good. It's got the Gallade. The Buddy Catch ability. I like getting Cynthia and Caitlin because you got to go get the Hex back so you can make the play. You got to go get the Hex back so you could do it right this time. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta go get the Hex back so you could do it. I hope the Hex is what the grab is. I suspect it might be, but we'll see. All right, Mimikyu coming up to copy Thumping Snore, which makes sense. You don't want to actually put your Gallade in harm's way, so definitely heads up call attacking with the Mimikyu instead of the Gallade, because the Gallade is your support Pokemon, so you don't want to just like give that thing up. So Mimikyu becomes a sleepy boy and is still asleep. And Ben's going to take that Boomer card off the prizes. Skyla. It's funny, there's a Rockets version of Skyla now. You could play Skyla or you could play the Rockets Skyla. We got Cramorant coming up into the active spot for Hunter. The Fickle Spitting Attack. 120 damage. Since Ben is on just 3 prizes remaining. He gets to use it for just 1 energy. Winona is going to be great to help Hunter set up. I mean, Hunter does have this very cool slacking in the deck. And I know Hunter's a big fan of the slacking, and so am I. It's something I really like that Hunter is kind of continued trying to put time into this deck because slacking is cool. Undeniably cool. I love that Hunter is a believer in this card. Look at him, slacking. 160 HP. It's got the lazy ability. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent's Pokemon in play have no abilities except for lazy. And you see, like, with slacking on the bench, it's actually, like, conceivable that Hunter comes back in this game. The slacking is kind of that good. But it does get one-tapped by the Gallade. So Ben could decide that the slacking is looking a little too spicy and could just go get Guzma to take out the slacking with Gallade. And I wouldn't hate that play. Just kind of get it out of here. So the slacking could certainly become problematic. Losing the Porygon 2 is a little bit painful, as now Hunter's not going to have that extra ability to accelerate energy to the slacking, but is continuing to turn through the deck with Bibarel. Hunter's got just 3 prizes left to Ben's 3, and Ben going to use Artisan to go get Mewtwo out of the deck. Mewtwo, one of the premier late-game attackers in this Psychic build. It's got the Limit Break attack. Does 90 damage plus 90 more damage if if your opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards remaining. And guess what, folks? It is Limit Break time. And here's Buddy Catch with Gallade. And yes, as I suspected, Ben is tired of that slacking. Doesn't like the look of him. So going to use Buddy Catch, search out Guzma, and my sneaking suspicion is that this Gallade is getting ready to give slacking a swirly with Swirling Slice. Yes, Gallade's got the Swirling Slice attack for Psychic and 2 colorless energy. Does 160 damage and moves an energy to one of your bench Pokemon. Wow. 4 energy on Gallade. That just seems like overkill. I guess, okay, so the reason being is that you want to keep the Gallade with 3 energy on it, I guess. There you go. Cool. Move a Psychic energy back. And Ben, going to go down to just 2 prizes remaining. And what can Hunter do about this? Cramorant is turned off. No energy accelerator in play. Things are looking real bad for Hunter at this point. Dare I say it feels like Hunter might be out of it with the slacking gone and the Porygon gone, everything feels horrible. And I don't think the Hunter is going to be able to charge up a relevant attacker fast enough in the face of all this energy that Ben Peacock has on board. A fully loaded Gallade in the active spots. A 2-energy Mewtwo on the bench. It just seems like an insurmountable ask from Hunter to play out of this board state. Hunter's going to Industrious Incisors for 2. Sky Hisuian Heavy Ball and Versus Seeker. Versus Seeker can get a supporter from the discard pile to use, but is Hunter even used any good supporters? Like, it's like, what do you even... I don't think that there is no supporter card in the game that solves the amount of issues that Hunter's board has right now. Yeah, if it was a supporter card that says, I don't know, search your deck for a bunch of special energy and attach them to your Pokemon, sure, that supporter card would do it. But that supporter card doesn't exist because it would be broken. Oh, do we go double turbo off the teammates with the Hops Choice Band? That'll do it. Okay, that's a knockout. Hops Snorlax with the double turbo energy and the Hops Choice Belt. Hops Choice Band. But then it just dies to Mewtwo. Yeah, I know, but it's still better than doing nothing. Listen, we'll figure out Mewtwo when we get there. Right now, we're going to 2 prizes, baby. Yahoo! Dynamic Press is doing 180 damage for the knockouts. Thanks to the extra helpings ability and the Hops Choice Band. And Snorlax does deal 80 damage to itself. And we got 2-2 prizes, but Ben is still in a very favorable position. He's got the Mewtwo. The Mewtwo could very well sweep the rest of this game with that limit break attack. Just doing 180 damage. I don't know that Hunter is going to be able to whip up an attacker that can deal with this Mewtwo fast enough. Certainly seems sketch. Xatu, Clairvoyant Sense, draw 2. There's Malamar. We've got Psychic Recharge online. Plenty of energy, plenty of options to get energy into play. Ultra Ball. I mean, Ben's deck is pretty thin. There's not really a lot left in the deck. Ultra Ball for the Galarian Articuno. Sure. But honestly, I just want to see Ben maybe establish one more attacker. It could be Galarian Articuno. It could really be anybody. Yeah, if you want to use Tulip and just kind of like throw a bunch of energy on Galarian Articuno, I don't hate that play. Yeah, I don't hate that play at all. I also like just getting the Mimikyu. Not from me. I don't know. It's just interference on the mic. Yeah, I don't know. We were getting some interference on the microphone, and Hunter thought it was me. Not me, dude. Yep. So Ben's board is looking pretty impenetrable at this point. It's going to retreat Xatu into Mewtwo, and we've got a limit break for 180 damage. Little overkill on the Hop Snorlax. It only has, like, I don't know, 80 hit points remaining, something like that. $70 hit points remaining, excuse me. And Ben's going to go down to just one prize remaining. I think it's over for Hunter, unfortunately. It's looking over. It's smelling over. Certainly feels kind of over. But if there's one thing I know about Hunter, is that he plays these games out. Absolutely no concessions here. So we've got Fan Rotom doing 70 damage. 90 damage with Assault Landing. And that is game. Ben Peacock going to take the win in round number 2, advancing to 2-0 here at Full Grip Games Gym Leader Challenge League Nights. GG's. Oh, yeah, no stadium for the Fan Rotom. Doesn't matter. Yeah, that's a wrap. That is game. Ben Peacock taking the dub over Hunter's colorless deck. Was a slow start to that one, certainly. But both players' decks eventually got up and moving. And we got to see some nice back and forth action between the two decks. So GG's. All right, round number 2 in the books. And we've got Ben Peacock with his Psychic deck. Charging forth. Going to be just 4 rounds here tonight. Full Grip Games Gym Leader Challenge League. I saw someone earlier on YouTube say they got a GLC 1K coming up. Is that true? Where at? That sounds exciting. Yeah, I still cannot believe that they power crept Cynthia. I'm still reeling from that. Let's take a look. Multiple new Mega Evolution sets coming to the TCG. Mega Dream EX and Abyss Eye. Tell me it's not more Palkia and Arceus. Dude, what? All right, let's see. 2 new trademarks, Mega Dream EX. Of course it is, right? Like, just of course it's the same legendaries, right? Because we got to get all the Megas in. So you just have to do all the same legendaries. I feel like we just did Dialga and Palkia, right? Like, has it really been that long? It hasn't been that long. Two new trademarks for Mega Dream EX and Abyss Eye have been found for Pokemon under the same terms as trademarks used for set names in the past. Yes. Abyss Eye is Giratina. We just had Lost Origins. Mega Dream EX sounds like Japan's annual high-class pack set that releases every November or December. They always have card mechanics in the name, such as Terrestrial Festival EX, Shiny Treasure EX, V-Star Universe, VMAX Climax, Shiny Star V, Tag All-Stars, GX Ultra Shiny. I know, like, we could do... Now, a Groudon and a Kyogre set, I'm here for that. We haven't done Kyogre and Groudon in a while. Who are the black and white legendary? Who are the black and white legendary? You got, like, what, Darkrai? Is there a... There is no Mega Darkrai, right? Because Darkrai's not legendary. Darkrai's, like, mythical or something, right? I don't even know. All right, Dylan, I see Dylan really wants it to be known. Right here, Dweesh, that is Dylan. And Dylan really wants it to be known that despite his Mewtwo deck's abysmal performance on stream, he did end up finishing second place last night. Congratulations, Dylan. That's $70 store credit with the Rockets Mewtwo deck. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'll give you that. GG's, GG's. But you didn't make it look good on camera. So if a tree falls in the woods and nobody hears it, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Is that like I can tell all of you all that I actually played really good at NAIC in like many of my rounds, but the round that you guys saw me play against Tord happened to be the worst that I played. Probably the worst round of Pokemon I've ever played in my life. So, what does that mean? It means I'm a scrub, okay? That's what it means, Dylan. It means I'm a scrub because when I got under the lights and it was on stream, I played like crap. But I promise I played some really good Pokemon the rest of the weekend, or else I wouldn't have ended up doing so well, you know? Just is what it is. I was fried, bro. I was fried. I was too out of practice. It's okay, though. You know what? If you're going to misplay and lose to anybody, I guess it might as well be Tord, right? That's fine. All right, folks, we're hopping right into our very next round. Let's go. It's time. It is time. But honestly, Dylan, I love the Rockets deck. If you could show us some top-notch gameplay with the Rockets deck on stream, that would be hype. I would love that. I'm here for it. I want nothing more than to see the Rockets deck perform very well on stream. However, I gotta say, you weren't selling it during your feature match. Dude, the one card Jewel Seeker, you gotta admit that was beast mode, all right? You have to admit. The play may not have been optimal, but to be on stream at the biggest tournament of the year and to make crap plays like that, you gotta admit it was kind of sick. To be 6-0-1 at the largest tournament of the year, playing against the best player in the world, and to make like scuffed plays like that, kind of beast mode when you think about it. Anybody can make good plays, but it takes a really special it takes a really special kind of person to go on stream and embarrass themselves the way that I did. It takes a really special kind of person to do that. So you see good plays happen all the time, but really to see truly scuffed up plays like that, I like to think that it was a memorable performance. I like to think it was memorable, right? At least I wasn't playing slow. At least that. If nothing else. If nothing else, we were at least playing. We were playing the game. We were putting on a show, baby. All right, round number 3. Here at the Full Grip Games Gym Leader Challenge League Nights, we've got Fighting versus Psychic. Fighting versus Psychic. Alex Carpenter versus Ben Peacock. Classic matchup right here. Alex Carpenter is your badge leader here at Gym Leader Challenge League right now. And is trying desperately to get this fighting badge. Has to go pseudo-wudo pass. And Ben has got that Skyla turn 1. Gonna go get Buddy Buddy Poffin. It's exactly what he wants to set up his deck. And is looking like he's eyeing up Ralts. Ralts can evolve into Curlia. And Curlia is a great way to get things going with its refinement ability. Now, Alex doesn't have a bad hand. I mean, he's got supporters, just nothing really, of note. He's actually just got a ton of supporters, because if you're playing a fighting deck in Gym Leader Challenge, there is no draw support Pokemon. So you just have to play a ton of supporters. That's just kind of the way it goes. Now, this matchup is usually very tough because a lot of the best Psychic Pokemon, they resist fighting. Yeah, it's a relatively small night tonight. 14 players here. So not completely unheard of to get to player on stream back-to-back rounds, especially if I think Fran was on the other side of the undefeated bracket and she was already on stream. And Alex has got the tag call now. Can use tag call to go get Cynthia and Caitlin and Guzma and Hala. And Guzma and Hala going to be the supporter for turn. One of the strongest cards. It's really been... It's been gaining in power throughout the years in Gym Leader Challenge formats. And the reason for that is that they just keep printing better and better tool cards, special energy, and stadiums. So, and I think the real story of Guzman and Hala's, ascension into relevance has been the tool change. Ever since they changed tools to no longer be items, they've been printing a lot of very powerful tools lately in the Pokemon TCG. And the stronger tools that they make, the better Guzman and Hala gets. And then, of course, with Guzman and Hala, you have access to all of the special energy ever printed since Black and White. I mean, and that's just a huge pool of special energy to choose from. And then stadiums, you get every stadium ever printed, right? So, it's an extraordinarily flexible card. And with the introduction of very strong tool cards like TM Turbo Energize and TM Evolution, you just got some really, really good turn 1 options with Guzma and Hala. And we can see Alex is wasting no time getting that Ogie Dogie going. The issue with going Ogie Dogie, though, is that Ogie Dogie is weak to Psychic, folks. It's weak to Psychic. So even though you would think, wow, Ogie Dogie can use the Adrenaline Power ability and have 230 hit points it doesn't really matter against the Psychic deck because Okidogi's weak to Psychic, so you can still pump out some decent damage, but all in all, not enough to eat through. Excuse me. Not enough to eat through all of these really annoying fighting resistances. I mean, look at like Mewtwo, for instance, right? Mewtwo's got a fighting resistance. Because why not, right? Because why not? Gallade's got a fighting resistance. Because why not, right? Why not? Dusknoir's got a fighting resistance. Because why not? Why not, right? Like, literally, they all have fighting resistances. And here's Guzma. Dimension Valley. It's not knocked out, though. Wait. That's not knocked out. It's 180 damage. All right. So with the Dimension Valley, Mewtwo... It's not doing that much yet. Mewtwo is a card that gets better as the game goes on. Limit Break does 90 damage plus 90 more damage if the opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards remaining. That's the thing. I mean, like, Okidogi can knock out the Mewtwo, sure. Oh my gosh. All right, we got a Garganackle deck? Oh, yeah, dude. Garganackle fighting. Oh, baby. Let's go. Artisan for the Knackley. Which Garganackle you think? We're probably the one that accelerates energy. Energizing Rock Salt. You think that's the one? You think it's this one? I think this is the one. Yeah. Garganackle, dude. And we've got Karina to go get Letter. And a fighting Pokemon. Cool. Do it, Alex. God, I hope Alex Carpenter wins so bad. I'm rooting for that. I don't even care. I don't care about being unbiased. Is that Flamigo? Oh my god. Flamigo, dude. Oh, I love to see it. Yo, Garganackle fighting. All right, actually kind of broken. If you get it all set up, right? Like Energizing Rock Salt, very good ability. Your accelerate. Well, okay, I'd say it's a kind of it's not a very good. It's fine. I would say it's a serviceable serviceable. Can we call it serviceable? It's a very serviceable ability. Fighting Fury Belt to the Flamigo. And Okidogi is going to take this knockout, folks. Yeah, thank you so much, Trey, for the sub as well in the 78 months. Appreciate you, Trey. Hopefully you're doing well. Yeah, that's a big knockout. Boom. Good punch. 170 damage, minus 40. Or minus 30. So 140 after resistance. But then Wobbuffet gets promoted, so both these players taking a prize card. Because Wobbuffet has the Bide Barricade ability. So, as we saw there, just happened real fast. Okidogi had 180 damage on it and was being kept alive by the Adrena Power ability. Then Ben promotes Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet's Bide Barricade ability turns off Okidogi's Adrena Power. And that's a KO. I think the Flamigo does something like 10 damage plus 20 more for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon, or maybe 20 times the amount of bench Pokemon. It's really a very mid card. It is not very good. But you know, I respect it. Let me see if I can pull this up. I remember reading the Flamigo multiple times. It's 20 plus 20 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. All right, that's 10 damage better than I thought it was. Yeah, here's Flamigo. Check this dude out. Every time I've read the Flamigo, I've been like, man, this card's almost good. And it kind of is almost good. And Ben just has to use Filch with Mimikyu for the turn, so no attack. Well, no damaging attack. But Filch, draw 2, not bad. And we're still at 5-5 prizes. So Alex Carpenter not totally out of it. Yeah, I mean, Flamigo, like I said, he's kind of serviceable. He does okay. He's fine. He's just a guy. Just a guy who could do 120 max. We got Galarian Zapdos. I think just for the free retreats. I have to imagine. You play Skyfield and bait your opponent. Now that is a pro play. Play Skyfield, bait your opponent into overbenching. Won't it be fun? Bench a ton of Pokemon. Come on, do it. We got a Cynthia and Caitlin being played. Discarding Professor's Research. Get a supporter back from the discard pile. And draw 3. Going to be Cynthia, I think. Cynthia's days are numbered. I still can't believe. I'm so floored. Cynthia! It's been such a staple of the Pokemon trading card game since the Heart Gold Soul Silver era. Professor Oak's new theory. Professor Oak's new theory, chatters. It's outclassed now. I can't believe it. I just cannot believe it. I have a full art Cynthia from Ultra Prism, and I'm like, I could sell it. Its value in GLC decks is going down tremendously. All right, we got a Knackle stack on the bench. Rescue Stretcher to bring back the Dogie. And are we gonna see a peck? you about to peck, bro? Yep, peck for 40. Alrighty. And here we go. Looks like Boulder getting the promote. And do we have matched hand sizes? Looks like we do. So Boulder going to take the KO. Ben's got just 4 prizes left. Can Alex actually come back in this game? Alex got Evolution Instant, Evolution Incense, and the Garg has hit the board. Garganackle has arrived on the scene. Look at him. He's so glorious. 7 feet, 7 inches tall, 529 pounds. That's a Pokemon right there. And we got Raihan to the Ogie Dogie. Ogie Dogie is so back. Let's go. Raihan to the Ogie Dogie. Prism energy attached. The Adrena power ability has been activated once more. And even with that fighting resistance, Ogie Dogie is doing just enough damage to take this knockout. Energizing Rock Salt to the Sudowoodo, and Alex gonna go toe for toe with the Psychic deck. Down to just 4 prizes remaining with a good punch for 170 damage. Okay, I gotta say, Alex Carpenter's deck is cooking now. Things are moving. It's happening, folks. It is happening. We don't actually see Ben with like any draw power in his hand. So Ben could lose this. I mean, Ben could lose this game. You never see fighting beat Psychic in like in just an attacking trade war. Like, I feel like the only times, sometimes I feel like Spread can win if they're not playing bench barrier, but just going toe to toe in an attacking trade war, fighting seems very unfavored in this matchup. But Alex's board is looking solid. All right, Tulip can recover up to 4 in any combination of Psychic Energy and Psychic Pokemon from the discard pile. So that's what Ben's got as support for turn. And I don't think this Wobbuffet is moving. The thing about this is, so Wobbuffet's Bide Barricade ability does make it so that Ogie Dogie's Good Punch is only doing 70 damage. But oh, actually, we are going to see an attack because of Escape Rope. Galarian Articuno getting powered up instantly thanks to its Cruel Charge ability. And who will Ben decide to knock out with the Psy Laser? Cruel Charge says when you play this Pokemon from your hand to the bench during your turn, you can attach up to 2 Psychic Energy from your hand to this Pokemon, and Ben deciding to knock out the Sudowoodo. I think that's the correct call there. And Ben takes a prize. Alex does have Escape Rope if he wants to push and knock something else out. He's also got Boss's Orders, so he could just target down exactly what he wants to knock out. Yeah, Alex has got options for sure. Let's see what he decides to go with. Does have Artisan access, so gonna activate the Artisan, use it to go search out a basic Pokemon from the deck. And it looks like actually failing it, so no targets for Artisan. And then let's see if Alex decides to play. I don't really think it's worth it to boss necessarily. Yeah, and the Malamar. Yeah, the Malamar is like a fine take. I like that. It's fine. You don't have to use it though. You could save it. But I think it's a fine take to just knock out the Malamar. The Malamar is somewhat the enabler. It's going to allow Ben to continue streaming attackers. So I think just nixing the Malamar it makes it so that you're not going to be able to whip up another attacker very quickly. So I think I agree with that boss play from Alex. Because really, in order to win this game, Alex has to 2-for-1, basically. He can't just keep trading 1-for-1 because then Ben will win, because Ben is one step ahead right now. But if Alex can make this Ogie Dogie go 2-for-1, then he'll be able to skip ahead in the prize race. And I think Alex is wagering that by knocking out the Malamar, that he's going to allow this Ogie Dogie to go 2-for-1. And I think that's a good bet. I do. So I think I agree with Alex's gust of the Malamar for sure. Looking at it now, I think that's 100% correct. So heads up play there from Alex. And Ben has got an Iono, but neither of these players are going to be drawing a lot of cards. Iono to 3 both ways. And Ben does not have any draw support Pokemon in play, like Kirlia or Xatu. And Fighting doesn't have any draw support Pokemon in its card pool. But that's fine. Fighting decks tend to play a lot of supporters to overcompensate for that. So it's fine. Like, literally, the Fighting deck will play, like, dang near 20 supporters. You just got to have them. And sure enough, you get set to a 3-card hand. You got options. Verseeker right there. So we're going to see Alex check the discard pile. He did get memory skipped. That is a very annoying little attack there on the Ralts. Memory skip. Making it so that Alex cannot use Good Punch next turn. So, going to be tough to overcome. As now Alex needs to think about, how do I switch my Ogie Dogie out of the active to shake off the memory skip attack? It looks like Alex is going to play Marnie, so he'll get 5, and then Ben will get 4. I know. I see on YouTube someone says there's a Lucario that lets you draw 2 cards when you evolve it. Yeah, I think that's like a European-only promo or something, and the card is also just explicitly terrible. So, yeah, so that doesn't really count. There's also a Lunatone that allows you to look at the top 2 cards of your deck and rearrange them. I really don't count the Lunatone either. That's not draw support, all right? It's not great. And Alex Carpenter does find the escape rope off the Marnie. Wow. I mean, incredible. Holy smokes. And then has the strong energy and the muscle band to knock out Wobbuffet, doing 110 damage, even though Wobbuffet has the Bide Barricade ability and makes it so that Adrena Power does not boost Good Punch's damage output. With the strong energy and the muscle band attached to Ogie Dogie, Good Punch gets ramped all the way up to 110 damage, and it'll still take the KO on Wobbuffet. Absolutely nuts. And Alex's wager earlier to knock out the Malamar and try to go 2-for-1 with Ogie Dogie is paying off in the face of a really well-timed memory skip from Ben Peacock. The perfect draw off of Marnie. Perfect draw. You could not have asked for a better set of cards off of the Marnie. Absolutely insane. Now, this is really wild to see Ben using Mysterious Treasure to discard Kirlia with a Ralts in play. That is not something you see every day, folks. In fact, I don't know that I have ever seen this. A Kirlia getting discarded with Ralts in play. Kind of Kind of crazy. Maybe Ben is saying I have to memory skip again? I don't know. I mean, there's a rare candy option, I guess. I'm still going to say it seems questionable. I feel like you probably still want the... Like, why not evolve the Ralts into Curlia and then use Refinement and then... You know, and then use Mysterious Treasure. I don't know, man. Dude, Alex Carpenter. Does Alex Carpenter have the aura tonight? Does he have the plot armor? Is Alex Carpenter tonight's main character? With a draw like that, you have to ask these kinds of questions. Alex Carpenter might be the main character tonight. With his fighting deck. Yeah, he might just be. Perfect draw off the Marnie. Just absolutely incredible. So we got the Dusknoir at the cost of the Curlia, though. Oh, you have Night Stretcher in hand. Like, I guess. But still. Why would you do this? All right, Curse Blast. This is a really interesting kind of way to do that. But still... All right, we're going to retreat into Wobbuffet. All right, and then that's a KO by just retreating. But now you have Raihan in hand. You have Raihan in hand, which I guess, yeah, you could still play. It just feels like a very strange line. Like, yeah, you could play the Raihan. You've got very little resources. I still don't know about how I feel about getting rid of that. No, it can't be correct to get rid of the Curlia. It cannot. I'm gonna die on that hill. It cannot be correct. You get the Ralts right there. just evolve it. Evolve it, man. Just evolve it, dude. Evolve it and draw 2 cards. We do have a very close game, though. It's 1-2. But... you know, what does Alex have in response? Is Wobbuffet active? I think that Lucario has to be if one of your fighting Pokemon was knocked out from damage from an attack. Yeah, it has to be damage from an attack. So Lucario is actually... So Ben's kind of very roundabout route here. Has effectively played around Lucario, though. I'll give him that. Avenging Knuckle is doing nothing. Well, not nothing. I mean, not nothing, literally. Okay, it does 30 damage. Sure. And does Alex Carpenter have the cards he needs to knock out Wobbuffets? Where does he go from here? There's Guzma. If he can get a Pokemon that can do 30 damage, he wins with Guzma on Mimikyu. All he needs is a basic Pokemon that can do 30 damage, but Flamigo's in the discard pile. Flamigo has Peck. Yeah, I don't think there's any targets. Yeah, if he's got Lucario in hand, Lucario does base 30. So Lucario could win with the Guzma. That could do it. That could do it. But does he? He's got Bird Keeper. I think he's just got to play the Bird Keeper. Promote Garganackle, draw 3. He's got the Tropical Beach. Could be a good beach angle here. Floatstone. Yeah, it might just be a good beach turn, honestly. Like a retreat back into Galarian Zapdos. Night Stretcher. Oh, he's so close to having win with the Night Stretcher, actually, because he's got Guzma in hand already. I would actually prefer to see Alex Carpenter use Night Stretcher for... I guess it's fine. It's fine. You go Ogie Doggie's fine. Because then with the Garganackle, you can charge up the Ogie Dogie in one turn to take your final prize. So, gonna say, with Guzma in hand, but you know that Ben has Versus Seeker, so he's probably just gonna Iono you back to 1. But then if Ben uses Iono for 1, right, then he sets himself to 2. So it's not like he's really getting a lot of ground, right? All right, so Alex going to end his turn with Tropical Beach. We know Ben's got Versus Seeker, so he's got access to all the supporters in his discard pile. Versus Seeker does recover a supporter from the discard pile to your hand. But I don't actually think that Ben has an Iono in the discard pile. So no, does not actually have that disruption option, which means that if Alex Carpenter just has Lucario, he wins with Boss's Orders, which is kind of why I was saying, like, maybe it's best to actually use Night Stretcher on the Flamigo, because Flamigo... Wait, can Riolu do 30 damage? Can Riolu do 30? It can. It could do 50. Oh, yeah. Alex actually just misplayed. He had game with Riolu. All he had to do was use Guzma, bring up Mimikyu, and knock it out. Use Energizing Rock Salt to accelerate an energy to it. Yeah. Riolu does it. If there is, in fact, a Guzma in hand. Yeah, Riolu does like 50 and then 20 to itself. So, I don't know. I thought I saw Guzma in Alex Carpenter's hand, but it's possible that I am seeing things incorrectly. So I'll have to see if I get a look at Alex Carpenter's hand. I'll have to see if he's got Guzma. If he does have Guzma in hand, then it's game over. He's got Versus Seeker. He should have. He's got at least Boss. Oh, yeah. No, Alex misplayed. He does have the win, actually, with Riolu. Riolu, Energizing Rock Salts. You can use Energizing Rock Salts to accelerate the energy to Riolu, and then Boss's Orders the Mimikyu and finish it off for game. So hopefully Alex has had some time to look at this hand and now sees that line. That would be cool. And then Alex has taken the win in round 3 with fighting. All right. I think it's probably just going to be a pass from Ben. It doesn't really look like he's got too much else. Going to beach. But Alex Carpenter should have win. He's got Verseeker in hand. Please see it, Alex Carpenter. Please see it, Alex Carpenter. The Riolu. Read the Riolu. Read it. Read him. Read the Riolu. Read him. You have Guzma and Verseeker. Read Riolu. Read it. Read it. You have one prize left. Just simply read the card, bro. I know. Reading the cards is hard. I know. Read the Riolu. Read it. Look at him. He's locked it. You could tell he's locked into like thinking about how to win in a different kind of way. But he just doesn't need to be. Riolu does 50 damage for 2 energy. I know. It's so hard to watch someone not see a win con. I know. Come on, baby. Come on. No. It better be a Lysander. It better be boss. No. The win con, Alex Carpenter. This 2 turns. 2 turns of ignoring a win con. You love to see it. All right, bro. What kind of adventure are you taking us on? Guzman. Sure, man. You know, we still got 5 minutes left in the round. Might as well play. Guzman Hala for single Aurora energy. If you use Guzma or Lysander to move the Wobbuffet, you have access to energizing Rock Salt. Unless there's no basic fighting energy in the discard pile, but I don't think that's a thing, right? I'd take it if there is no basic fighting in the discard pile, then I have to beg for forgiveness. All right, let's see. We're getting a good hard look at the discard pile right now. Ah, there's basic fighting in there. All right, dude. And I'm thinking that with the Aurora energy, we're just going to see Alex Beach again. All right. That's 2 turns of a past win condition, unfortunately. So Ben Peacock still has a shot, I guess. Though it's starting to feel like Alex is probably encroaching on inevitability territory, but I don't know that he's quite reached it yet. Pal Pad. I'm going to shuffle a couple supporters back into the deck. And then what can Ben do? All right, so say Ben uses, if he's got like a Gust knockout on Ogie Dogie, I suppose. Iono to 1, I think, is like the play you want, right? Just Iono to 1 knockout and just say no, because that's inevitable, right? So because you've got the Garganackle, so Iono to 1 doesn't mean anything. We got Parallel City. It's not really doing a lot. It would have to be like, it would have to be Iono to 1, Counter Catcher, the Garganackle. I don't think Ben plays Counter Catcher, but like that's the kind of thing we're talking about here. It'd have to be like that. If you could Iono to 1, Counter Catcher the Garganackle. Yeah, that's your route, right? I guess this is also a route because you Iono to 1. Dang, Alex Carpenter passed up 2 win cons just there. If Alex loses, that's crazy. 2 turns worth of win conditions. Okay, and that's a Psychic Assault for 20. Lucario in play. But now Alex does not have a hand and cannot use Energizing Rock Salt because of Wobbuffet's Bide Barricade ability. So just has to pass. And now Ben has Gallade. Oh my god, Ben is literally like routing it back. Oh my god. No, not like this, bro. Not like this, dude. Not like this. Not like this. And they're about to go to time. Oh my goodness. Time is called. Oh my god. I can't believe it. Oh, so punished, bro. Alex Carpenter is so punished. All right, so we're going to see retreats into Natu, Guzma, Okidogi, energy to Mewtwo, and limit break for the knockout. 1-to-1 prizes. Oh my gosh, did Alex Carpenter throw? No, he's got teammates for the dojo to do the 10 additional damage required to win the game with Lucario. Oh my god, folks. Oh my god, crazy. And Alex Carpenter just barely skirting away with the win. Absolutely crazy. That was nuts. That was nuts. That was nuts. I can't wait for Alex Carpenter to watch that one back and see the line that he missed twice. It's going to be so... Walkie down. All right, so, fellas. All right, this was so sick. All right, Alex Carpenter, for 2 straight turns, you had win with Riolu on the Mimikyu. You gust around the Wob, Energizing Rock Salt, and you had win 50 damage on the Mimikyu with damage on it. For 2 turns straight, bro. It was so sick.
Oh, that would have been so sick.
Yeah. You saw his look at first. His look at first is like, he was like, nah. He was like thinking, he was like, no. And then you saw him with like the boss in his hand and the energy. He's like, oh yeah, you're right. he's like, no, I didn't. No. Oh god. It's true though. It's true. It's so much easier, I will say. It's so much easier to be at this seat, like watching, than it is to be like when you're in the middle of a game. It's so easy to get kind of like sidetracked and like locked into your own way of thinking about a game. It's so easy. It's so easy. It happens all the time. It happened to me at NAIC. It happens all the time. Yeah. It's very easy. It's so much easier to be like removed from the game to see things. For sure. An exciting conclusion to the match though, as Alex Tony says, me last night in denial that I lose to Briar. Oh, yeah, bro. Tony, you lost like 4 different ways at the end of that game. Yeah, but you still got the win. You still got the win. So for those of you that watched League Night last night, Tony lost his final round, but still won. On Resistance, still won GLC League Night. So congratulations to Tony for copping the dub there. Mega Evolution portfolios, the new fall 2025 tins. Oh, dang. Our fourth and final round is going up now, folks. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Fourth and final round is upon us. Oh, man, and it's a match for the ages. John Patterson versus Alex Carpenter. Oh, yeah, this should be a good one. Alex Carpenter 3-0 with the fighting deck. This one is for the badge, folks. This one is for the badge. This is a badge winner. They are both 3-0. The winner of this round will earn their Gym Leader Challenge badge tonight. Can Alex Carpenter assert himself as the clear leader in the final stretch of GLC League? Keep in mind, Alex Carpenter was your badge leader and league champion last year. He defeated Ben Morse in a best-of-7 GLC Conquest Finals to take the win. He and Ben Morse were both tied at 8 badges. That is 8 different types of decks they won with throughout the year at Gym Leader Challenge League. I had 7. Alex and Ben both had 8 badges. They played in a best-of-7 conquest. And Alex Carpenter took home the cup, winning last year's Gym Leader Challenge Championship here at Full Grip Games. And now he is en route for the repeat. Can anybody take down Alex Carpenter here at Full Grip Games? He is looking to repeat last year's win. He is in the badge lead right now and has an opportunity to earn the elusive fighting badge. Many are saying that only the best players at Full Grip Games have a fighting badge. And this is underway. Let's go. Our fourth and final round. We've got water versus fighting. Alex Carpenter versus John Patterson. Should be a great match. Let's get into it. Alex opens with his trusty Flamigo. And let's take a look at that guy, see what he does. Flamigo. Actually a really good lead. If you can get an energy drop on Flamigo turn 1, it's a solid league. I mean, Combat Beak. Oh, that's not Ben Peacock. That's John Patterson. Excuse me. I was so excited. If Alex can just get an energy drop onto this Flamigo, and then if John starts to set up at all, Alex is going to be able to punish him with a Combat Beak for some decent damage output. Now, John has been itching to win with his Palatoad deck. He's a very good pilot of the Palatoad deck. He's been working on it for, I would say, probably a couple months now. And we'll see how he ends up doing in this final round. This could be the one for him to win. I really love watching John play with the Palatoad deck. He plays the deck very well. He knows his lines really well. He knows his matchups really well. I feel like he's a very solid pilot of this Palatoad deck. And he's been playing it for a long time. So always a joy to watch John Patterson play with the Palatoad deck. And, thank you so much, CMT, for the Prime sub and the 28 months. Appreciate it. Thanks for the hype there over on Twitch. Now, for those of you not in the know, the Palatoad deck gets its name from its main attackers, not Mewtwo, not you, Mewtwo. Sorry, get out of here. You were totally last round. From its main attackers, Seismitoad and Palafin. All right, so we've got Palafin with the Justice Kick attack. Does 210 damage for 2 water energy. And if this Pokemon didn't move from the bench to the active spot this turn, the attack does nothing. And you've got Seismitoad with the Echoed Voice attack. Does 120 damage, and next turn it does 100 more. If you used Echoed Voice the turn previous, maxing out at 220. So you could do 120 and then 220, 220, 220. But the real buff that Seismitoad has is that Quaking Zone ability. Says as long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, attacks used by your opponent's active Pokemon cost a colorless more. And that could be extraordinarily problematic for Alex's fighting deck. I mean, the fighting deck already is kind of tough to get all the energy you need in play for your best attackers. The fighting deck doesn't play very high energy cost attackers. I mean, a lot of 2 energy cost attackers, but forcing the fighting deck to get a 3rd energy on the attackers, I mean, that's a backbreaker. It is. And the thing about Seismitoad is that forcing a Gym Leader Challenge deck to consistently get that 1 extra energy into play is really tough for a lot of decks to negotiate. That is the power of this Seismitoad in Gym Leader Challenge format. There's so many decks that just have a really tough time playing around that Quaking Zone ability. Thank you so much, Video Game House, with the raid of 11. Welcome, everybody. We're watching the finals of tonight's Gym Leader Challenge League tournament here at Full Grip Games in Akron, Ohio. The winner of this round will earn their badge here at the shop. We're playing Gym Leader Challenge formats, which are custom Pokemon TCG formats, where you can only play 1 of each card in your deck, except for basic energy. So it's singleton. It's also monotype, so you can only play 1 type of Pokemon in your deck as well, like a Gym Leader. And of course, there's no rule box Pokemon allowed either. So you've got monotype decks. We've got a fighting versus a water deck here in the finals, and it should be a good one. I really don't know how this matchup's going to go. My initial thought would be that John is certainly favored. So John's also got a very solid looking board setup. Unfortunately, does not have the Tim pole down. So no Tim pole is kind of signifying to me that he may have prized a piece of his Seismitoad line. So instead, he's going to be looking to Palafin to try and lead the game early. He's also got Frostlass. And Frostlass is a really cool attacker. It's got 80 hit points, and the Spiteful Sigh attack allows you to put up to 7 damage counters on this Pokemon. The attack does 20 damage for each damage counter you placed in this way. So it can do 140 damage for just 1 energy. And the whole concept of this water deck is to do a significant amount of damage for low energy cost. And Alex Carpenter popping off with that Erica's Hospitality. Goodness gracious. Erica's Hospitality. I mean, the whole Erica's Hospitality for 6. And a lot of people are sleeping on Erica's Hospitality as a supporter card, but it is quite good. It is quite good, folks. And Alex Carpenter is a really big believer in this card. Erica's Hospitality. You can only play it if you have 4 or fewer other cards in your hand. So true, Alex. Fighting never has good cards. Never has big hands. So you're pretty much always live with Erica's Hospitality when you're playing Fighting. And then you draw a card for each of your opponent's Pokemon in play. So Alex just got the full Erica's Hospitality for 6. That is a huge, huge draw for the Fighting deck. And a Peck with Flamigo to deal 30 damage to the Basculin. Let's see. What does John have? Irida. It's looking like. And Octillery in play already. So Octillery, some great board state stability for the water deck. One of the first Pokemon you want to set up. For sure, Octillery's got the Abyssal Hand ability, which allows you to fill your hand to 5 cards once during your turn. And that's exactly what it does. It's got 90 hit points, which is actually the Some would say 90 hit points is the ideal hit point total for a bench sitting support Pokemon. And the reason for that is that it is the highest amount of HP you can have while still being level ball searchable. And there are so many decks that play level ball to help search out basics. But when level ball can also search out some of your support Pokemon like Octillery, just some really, really powerful synergies. So looks like John is going to be going on the offensive with Frostlass. Switch Raft into Frostlass. Frostlass grabbed off the Irida. And Abyssal Hand, fill a hand of 5. Looks like this is going to be a turn 2 knockout from John Patterson. But Alex Carpenter not far behind with the Knackle Stack on the bench. John also has got the Aqua Patch in hand, so push come to shove, could get a fully powered Palafin this next turn to take the knockout if he needs to, but that is the first prize draw of this finals match. John Patterson going to just 5 prizes remaining. Alex promoting the big bag dog, Ogie Dogie. Well, let's see what he can do. Professor's Letter can search his deck for up to 2 basic energy put into his hands. It seems like it would require a lot to get this Ogie Dogie fully powered this turn. So I'm not thinking that it's going to be very likely. But let's see what Alex has got in his hand. He's got Arven, Pokegear, Raihan, and Teammates. So if he gets Ultra Ball and Aurora Energy, or Ultra Ball and a Rainbow Energy, then he's got Knockout with Ogie Dogie. So that would be it, because you have to discard a Fighting Energy, right? Or no, there's already a Fighting Energy in the discard pile. Then he's chilling. Yeah. I was going to say, you don't need to get Ultra Ball, because there was a Fighting Energy on the Flamigo that got knocked out, so... So Teammates should enable this return KO, and we are off to the races, folks. Some very bombastic knockouts early on in the match. There's the Garganackle. There's the Prism Energy. Garganackle getting after it with the Energizing Rock Salt ability. Attaching an extra energy to the Ogie Dogie from the discard pile. And that Ogie Dogie is going to be making swift work of the Frostlass. A little bit of overkill. Frostlass has only got 20 hit points remaining. And Ogie Dogie, good punch. Taking a knockout. Alex going to tie it up at 5-5. But John Patterson does have, I think, a very solid response in his hand already. Can just promote the free retreating cast form, right? Right? Why? Right? The free retreating cast form, right? Is there something that I don't see here? Huh. Okay, well, Fion's getting promoted, sure. Timpole was found off the prizes, so we could see Timpole was not prioritized early because it was prized. Oh, and Scoop Up Net. Maybe John wants to use the Scoop Up Net to get the Timpole out of play. Or to get the Fion out of play, I guess. But still, I still feel like it's correct to just promote cast form. Now, John does have... Oh, this is tough, right? Because he needs to kind of draw into... He does not have the Palafin. But he's got cards that could allow him to attack with Palafin. But also, I don't think Palafin does enough damage to knock out Ogie Dogie. I mean, Palafin does a lot, but it doesn't do enough. I think it does 210. It's 210, folks. All right, so it's just going to be a stall play from John with the Guzma on the Garganackle, and then the Finizen has got the Valiant Evolution. I think it's Valiant Evolution. Valiant Evolution attack, which allows you to search your deck for Palafin and you switch it. Do you want to scoop up net the Fion and then... Yeah, it's just wasting that. That's fine. And then Beaching. So no Valiant Evolution. Really? Oh, no, it's Abyssal Hand. Excuse me. All right, it's Abyssal Hand. I was going to say, Beaching? At a time like this? And John also deciding to use the Aqua Patch on the bench Timpole to kind of diversify his energy a little bit, which I think makes sense. Dealing with this Ogie Dogie is going to be really tough. Ogie Dogie just kind of slightly out of range of the Palafin, but if John does have Muscle Band in deck, then that would fix it. All right, a Valiant Evolution switches the Finizen back to the bench, and Palafin is now evolved on the bench. Does Alex have a way to move Garganackle? Garganackle is kind of a hefty gentleman, all right? He's got a retreat cost of 4. So, you know, when he's out there, he's kind of out there. We'll see if Alex has the technology to move the Garganackle. Pokegear, look at the top 7. Pick a supporter, put it into the hands. Alex does play cards like Guzma, Floatstone, Bird Keeper. There is quite a few options to move the Garganackle, but it's also quite possible that it is stuck. Arvin, nope, is going to allow Alex to go get Floatstone out of the deck. Floatstone or Escape Rope also, if Alex wants to knock out something on the bench instead. Floatstone, Escape Rope, both options to move this thing. Looks like Fighting Fury Belts. Holy smokes. And the Escape Rope. Make it so that the Ogie Dogie has got 270 hit points. What an absolute monster. Let's see. Escape Rope. I'm going to force John to put up a different Pokemon. This Ogie Dogie might just wreak havoc on John's board. John needs to find a way to deal with this Ogie Dogie. I think while also leveraging the Palafin or leveraging the Seismitoad at the correct time. Now it's got a Fighting Fury Belt, giving it plus 40 hit points, so it's got an additional 140 hit points. It is a 270 hit point basic Pokemon. Using Good Punch for 180 damage. Insanity. And now, Alex Carpenter, with the prize lead, is looking like he is marching his way to a fighting badge in round number 4. He is really making a strong case for this fighting deck. John's got a Brooklet Hill to counter the beach. Going to take a look at the deck and looks like failing. And there's no other basics that he wants to get. I'm just going to play the card out of his hand. He may want to draw some more cards off of Octillery. Does have Versus Seeker. We also noticed didn't get Sobble out this game, so he probably prized Sobble, if I have to guess. And he's going to use Versus Seeker for Irida. And what does he want to get? Irida gets a water Pokemon and an item card. It feels like... Oh, like if you go in with Palafin and swing for 210, that just feels so bad. All right, so going to be Irida for Toad and Bucket. Bucket getting 2 water energy. And then we got Palpitoad. And it's looking like it is just going to be a... Oh, missing the knockout. 200. You would think 210 damage. You would think that's enough to get anything knocked out in Gym Leader Challenge format. You would think that. You would think that. But you would be wrong to think that. Crazy enough, you would be wrong to think that. But I think John is saying, all right, I'm prepping for the Seismitoad play, right? We're going to hit for 210. I'm going to go down another prize. And then I'm going to come up with Seismitoad and try to sweep. That's the wager here. But now it's up to Alex. Can Alex throw a wrench in that plan? Really, just can he pile enough energy into play to make it so that Seismitoad's Quaking Zone ability is basically obsolete? That's what he wants. By putting extra energy on Riolu, having an energy already on Sudowoodo. I mean, Alex is making a really strong case for his board right now. Very stable looking board. Lots of energy in play. And then with the Garganackle set up as well, Alex is going to have no problem getting those extra energy into play. I think if John had been a turn faster, you know, maybe a couple turns faster, not had to stumble that one turn in the middle there, it'd be a different conversation. But Alex has been the one putting on tons of pressure with Okidogi, backing it up with Garganackle. And Okidogi has just proven to be a true menace in this deck. That's another knockout with Good Punch. Good boy, Okidogi. Good punch. 180 damage with the Fighting Fury belts. And Alex goes to just 3 prizes remaining. Only 3 prizes separate him from a fighting badge. And I heard that apparently Gym Leader Challenge is back on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Live. So if anybody is looking to get into the format and give it a try, make sure to check out the trainer trials portion of the Pokemon Trading Card Game Live for the next week. I heard that Gym Leader Challenge format featuring cards from Sun and Moon onward is available on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Live. So make sure to check that out if you haven't already. Should be a lot of fun. Fighting Fury belts. Getting field blowered. John does have the Seismitoad online now. Would love to get like pot helmet or something onto the Seismitoad. Just make it a little bit harder to deal with. I do wish that the Iono. All right, here we go, Iono. It would be nice if they made Gym Leader Challenge a permanent game mode on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Live. But that's why you got to go play. Show our community's enthusiasm for the Gym Leader Challenge format so that the game designers hear us loud and clear and make it a permanent game mode one day. That would be great. So off the Iono, John getting 5. Going to be going in with the Toad. And going to see if Alex Carpenter has the cards to respond. Sudowoodo is not going to do enough to the Seismitoad. Sudowoodo can copy Seismitoad's attack, Echo Voice, which would do 120. That's not going to be enough. Looks like John is starting to recycle the Palafin. He's got Super Rod. Can put in Basculin and the Palafin, and then maybe Brooklet Hill for the Palafin back, or the Finizen. This is basically the board state that John has been... Oh my God. With the Pokemon League headquarters from the top rope, John with the perfect draw off of the Iono. The Pokemon League headquarters makes it so that basic Pokemon's attacks cost 1 colorless more. So now, with Quaking Zone and Pokemon League headquarters both in play, Alex's Pokemon's attacks cost 2 additional colorless energy to use. Alex's basic Pokemon's attacks do. So this could be hugely disruptive. We'll see. John is setting himself up for the sweep, and Alex's hand is dead, folks. There is no supporter in this hand. And Alex just has to pass. This is the exact board state that John wanted. And since Alex was not able to move this Seismitoad out of the active spot, its Echoed Voice is coming in for 220 damage. John was able to find Sobble off of the prizes too, so now he's going to have access to Shady Dealings via Drizzile next turn. And all Alex can do is attach an energy to Okie Dokie and hope on a top deck. But right now, this Seismitoad has got Alex in a real bind. I don't like to see John commit that muscle. Hold that muscle band, John, because what if you want to go in and knock out? What if you want to knock out the Okie Dokie with 230 hit points? Don't do it. Don't do it. Just what it. There's no point to put it there. You already know. It's not like Alex is going to play Iono. I guess you just want to draw more cards. I get it. So Alex just waiting on a top deck. He's got the Aurora energy. He's got the muscle band. But because of Seismitoad's Quaking Zone ability, because of the Pokemon League headquarters, Okie Dokie is not going to be able to attack, even though Alex has the necessary tools in his hand to attack with the Okie Dokie. He's got the Aurora energy. He could give the Okie Dokie an additional 100 hit points. That's really why I did not want to see John attach that muscle band to the Sobble, because it might come in handy. If John finds Boss's orders next turn, he could chase down the Okie Dokie and knock it out, right? Even with the Aurora energy on it. I also think I prefer to see John take the knockout on the Sudowoodo. Sudowoodo's, it's an attacker. And Alex, I think, just top decked Versus Seeker. So he is live. If he's got a good supporter in the discard pile, keep in mind, Alex needs 3 if Alex can just get a stadium, then he can use Garganackle to accelerate an extra energy to Ogie Dogie and then attach a 3rd energy from hand and can still take this knockout. Thank you so much, Trainer Joe, for the sub and the 68 months over on Twitch, and Z-Man Cuddles with the Prime sub and the 23 months. Appreciate you both so much. Thank you so much for the continued supports over the years. Thank you. All right, Alex has got Versus Seeker. Versus Seeker for Teammates. Teammates is going to allow him to search his deck for any 2 cards he wants out of his deck. And that should allow him to dig himself out of this hole. He's got Lucario, a Muscle Band, Aurora Energy, Garganackle, and Lucario with the 1-hit KO with the Muscle Band. Oh my God, the perfect math. Muscle Banded Lucario, avenging Knuckle for 170 damage exactly. And a 2 energy Ogie Dogie on the bench. This is the exact board state that Alex wants. He's got the Sudowoodo waiting on the bench, ready to watch and learn. Lucario with 2 energy in the active spot, taking the knockout on Seismitoad. Ogie Dogie in the back pocket, on the bench, fully loaded, ready to go. An absolutely impeccable board state from Alex after that Iono to 3, which seemed like it was devastating. It did. It seemed like it was really bad. But then the top deck of Versus Seeker to enable Alex to recover the teammates and search his deck for the perfect 2 cards to solve this board state. And now it's looking like Alex has got everything he needs to run away with this game. John is absolutely reeling. The only Pokemon he's got with an energy on it is Sobble with 1 water energy on it. And this is just the story of John with his Palatoad deck. He keeps getting so close. He's probably made the finals with his Palatoad deck a few times in the last couple months. He has been so close so many times. But it's looking like Alex Carpenter is just bringing that main character energy to the table this evening. As he proves match in and match out to be extremely difficult to take down with this fighting deck. John's got Snorunt back in play, but Snorunt, the Frostlass just ends up getting knocked out so easily. And now I don't think that John has a single thing on his board that can actually deal with a fully powered Ogie Dogie. He does have Rare Candy to quickly evolve into Inteleon. Okay, so what's something interesting that could happen? All right, John, if John can take the knockout on Lucario with the muscle-banded Inteleon, then he can use Aqua Bullet to put 2 damage counters. Okay, all right. The play is here. You just got to put 2 damage counters, put the 20 damage on the bench Ogie Dogie so that then it has 210 hit points. And then if somehow you can power up your Palafin does a perfect 210 damage. So it's possible, right? It's possible. Intellion's Shady Dealings abilities, allowing John to go get whatever 2 trainer cards he wants out of his deck to put into his hand. He's got Ultra Ball. Played Raihan as a supporter. Ultra Ball for the Palafin. I mean, things are moving here, but Aqua Patch has already been played. Raihan now has already been played. So, like, these options to accelerate extra energy into play are dwindling. But I guess if John can Raihan and then attach another energy to the Finizen, Enhanced Hammer. Oh! John is not done yet, folks. John is not done yet. Enhanced Hammer. Gonna remove the Aurora energy from that benched. Oh my God. John is not done. He is still very much in this game. Energy drop to the Finizen. 20 damage to the Ogie Dogie. And John actually saving the Enhanced Hammer for next turn so that he can one-hit KO the Ogie Dogie. And now Alex's hand is still dead. Oh my goodness. Oh, this game is coming right down to the wire. The whole game is coming down to this couple sequences. These couple sequences. Alex has to take the knockout with Ogie Dogie. Good punch, 170 damage. Finds Bird Keeper. Oh my God, and Bird Keeper could be the game-winning card for Alex. This is absolutely nuts. Alex goes down to 1 prize card remaining. Ogie Dogie in the active spot, but John Patterson has got Palafin getting ready to come up and take the knockout with Justice Kick. However, because John Patterson did not knock out this Sudowoodo earlier, that single decision, the decision to use Fion to push the Sudowoodo out of the active spot and not knock it out, may be John's undoing. That whole game comes down to the one little micro decision to not knock out the Sudowoodo, because now, off of the prize cards, Alex Carpenter just found Bird Keeper. So if John Patterson comes up with the Palafin to knock out the Ogie Dogie, Sudowoodo will be able to copy that Justice Kick effect because of the Bird Keeper. So Alex will be able to move the Sudowoodo from the bench to the active spot, even though Garganackle has a retreat cost of 4, which means that Alex will be able to win this game. This is unbelievable. I can't believe that this game is this close. Absolutely insane. John able to claw his way back from the brink of defeat, but Alex, with no draw support or anything like that, just relying on the spirit of the cards, and here it goes, the promotion and the scoop up net, and Sudowoodo copies for game, and Alex Carpenter is your Thursday Night Gym Leader Challenge winner. Sudowoodo, watch and learn for Justice Kick for game. An absolutely incredible match, and what a finale here tonight, folks. It doesn't get any better than that. It really doesn't. Alex Carpenter is your winner and is going to collect his fighting badge tonight. Well earned. Great game by both players. An absolute pleasure to watch. We had some really, really good games tonight for Gym Leader Challenge League. It doesn't get any better than that, folks. Absolutely amazing. GG's to both players. GG's to both players. I do think that John should have preemptively maybe used the Enhanced Hammer on the Aurora Energy. I think just like the turn you see it, play it, right? because then maybe you stop the Ogie Dogie from being able to attack altogether. And as we saw, Alex's hand was dead. So there's a couple little things that I think John could have done. I think he needed to play the enhance. He absolutely just needed. I think he was a little bit too in his own head and was thinking like, oh, I want to remove it next turn. But he just should have. But effectively, he allowed Alex to attack for 170 damage with it. So he should have played it. If he had played it the turn previous, and I think if he had knocked out the Sudowoodo instead of using the Fion to push it out of the active spot, those two little micro decisions may have made the difference in that match. So, a great game to watch, though. Huge congratulations to Alex Carpenter on the win with fighting. And that is going to do it for our Gym Leader Challenge League night. Alex Carpenter is your league winner 4-0 with the attacking fighting deck. Very impressive. Very impressive work, gotta say. Thank you all so much for joining me for the stream tonight. We've got some exciting streams coming up next week. I am going to be streaming White Flare and Black Bolt tabletop testing with Jesse Parker next Wednesday. Unfortunately, we had to rain check our stream this week because Jesse is not feeling well. So next Wednesday during the day, Jesse and I are going to be streaming White Flare and Black Bolt testing. And we've also got our league nights next Wednesday and Thursday. And then if I'm feeling extra spicy, I might stream a day of TCG Live with Gym Leader Challenge format, since Gym Leader Challenge format is on TCG Live this week as a part of the Trainer Trials program. That's it. Y'all take it easy and have a wonderful night. Make sure to check out FullGripGames.com for all the best Pokemon trading card game singles and sealed product. Shopping at FullGripGames.com directly supports the content that I create here on Tricky Gym. Also, for all the best sleeves and accessories, go to DragonShield.com. They've got the best sleeves and accessories in the game. Do not settle for cheap knockoffs, okay? Dragon Shield is the real deal. Manufactured in Denmark. I hear their sleeves are manufactured by real dragons. DragonShield.com for all the best sleeves and accessories. Use code TrickyGym at checkouts. I'll see you guys next week. Deuces.